When? Go on.
Right, quick introduction. I can remember 30 odd years ago buying flat caps by Tygers and Tang. I never thought 35 years later I'd be saying Jarman from Planetmosh. Nice to meet you, Robb, Weir.
How are you doing?
Lead guitarist. I'm Micky with the guitar.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How are you doing, everybody? Good? Fire away, what we got?
Film, it's okay.
Yes, filming.
Right, gig-wise, 3 gigs in 3 days.
3 gigs in 3 days, that's nothing unusual for the Tigers.
Really?
Yeah, we normally do a bit more than that, but that's just the way it's worked out. Worked out at this present time, shall we say?
Yeah.
But yeah, really looking forward to doing this one up in what's the place called?
Whiston Lodge.
Whiston Lodge in Biggar, yeah, South Lanarkshire.
Yeah.
It's 4th year apparently. Never played here before. Really looking forward to it. Unfortunately, it's a little bit wet outside, but I'm sure we'll dry it out a bit with the airwaves we're going to push out of the PA system.
That's right. It's a good. It's a nice punchy PA system as well.
Is it? Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good. I'd like to hear that.
Tomorrow another headlining show in London, the Garage.
Yeah, the Garage in Highbury. That's is this the first year this one's, or has it run before? Or?
Garage Day, I think it's the second one.
It's the second one, is it? Okay. But yeah, again, privileged to be headlining it with some great bands on as well. Our friends Tyson Dog, who are playing here this afternoon, they'll be flying down the M6 before us tomorrow morning because they're on earlier than us.
But like wacky races and
it will be like wacky races, absolutely.
Like the Pantang versus Tyson Dog.
Well, they'll definitely win because they're going to be there before us. But Kevin Wynn, the bass player, wants to have a party tonight, so God knows what they're going to have to strap him to the roof and set off, I think.
And Jagger they're on the bill as well. It's nice to see the old bands pushing forward again.
Absolutely. What a fantastic resurgence there is at the moment with new wave of British heavy metal.
Yeah.
It's really people are really interested in this. It's really coming back. History repeats itself. That's
right. What comes around goes around.
Absolutely. Let's face it, and it's coming around faster than a bullet.
That's it. Raven and safe, faster than the speed of light.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Raven got a new album out. So those
I just reviewed it. It's a real good album.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've heard a couple of tracks.
John's still up.
Yeah, I've seen them, and we keep missing each other at festivals. They're on the day before us, and they've got to fly off. And I caught up with them a good few years ago in Newcastle. And when we were both signed to Neat, we were there just slightly before they were, although they were around the same time as us, of course. I think our first single was Neat 03. So that was like the first sort of rock single on the label.
Don't touch me there.
Don't touch me there. That's right. Yeah. And we kind of had a side bet on who was going to get to the States first.
Right.
And I remember John ringing me up saying, "We're here," and I'm totally out of context. And I kind of said to him, "Where are you?" Thinking he was round the corner, going to come for a beer or something, in Whitney Bay, and he said, "No, we're here in the States." I went, "Oh, right, okay, you win." And of course, they made their home there.
Yeah, well, the early days they had this hard sport in them, didn't they?
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there's plenty of... Sorry, I'll put my glasses on because I'm blind in the moment. There's plenty of good posters around with all that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. It's, and you've got Metallica there, it's, lovely bunch of boys, self-confessed. If you go on Wikipedia and you go on the history page, I don't know whether you've done that, and it gives the history of Metallica. It actually says that I can't remember the name of the paper that Lars.
The Metal Forces.
No. It was not the New York Times, but it was like a newspaper, a daily newspaper. They took a little advert out of it saying, drummer wanting to find guitar player and bass player to jam Tygers of Pan, Tang and Diamond Head.
Right.
So that was very much where he was musically, and indeed the boys that finally joined his little ensemble, who went on to become probably one of the biggest rock bands in the world.
Yeah, well, it's well documented about him coming over here and same with Brian Tatler, he's like homeless, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
He was a big fan, he flew over, not knowing what to expect, but now he even befriended the man, and he stayed with Brian Tatler at his house for a while.
Right, I didn't know that. You see, I know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We did a show with Diamond Heads. Because
It was my
in Broad,
second gig,
wasn't it?
My
And
second, yeah.
we went out on the ferry with them and came back on the ferry. Or came back on the ferry.
Ages now.
Ages enough. Yeah. Came back with Brian and had a bit of a catch up, which was good.
It's good to see you back in the UK again. Do you sort of find yourself, you get yourself more European dates than UK dates?
Yeah, it just tends to work out like that.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a great European agent, and he would have us working every day. I think if he could to make himself some money, as agents do. But we do as much as we can.
Yeah, I sort of find the band like yourself and Saxon in some respect that the classic New English era kind of bands, they make they can make get better audiences abroad, better promoters. There's no sort of
Do you know?
respect in the UK.
Do you know? I don't know what it is about Europe. That they're like metalheads. That they're still really big into their into their hard rock and heavy metal, and sometimes it saddens me a little bit with the UK that's not the case, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
I sort of find that, sorry to interrupt, it's like the magazines like Kerrang, they push the latest thing too much, and they sort of force that sort of thing down people's throats rather than.
Kerrang certainly is. It's very modern. I have to say, you've got an absolutely marvellous cover for it.
It's about 35 years old. I did it all myself, about sort of 15, 16.
How fantastic
is
is that?
It's without sort of interrupt you, I did like a Vardas thing in 1979.
I can see that. The listeners and viewers, this is.
They signed it all in Newcastle last year, and it was a bit of a.
This is what people used to wear to come see Tygers shows.
That's right. There's no patches on here.
This was the norm. Yes. All hand embroidered.
It doesn't fit anymore. I've had this. I'm planning. I'll get buried in it one day.
But I think I just get one arm and it's not fitting anymore.
Right, as regards to recorded output, I mean, your last studio album was Ambush in 2012.
It was, which is a long time ago for us.
Some new material planned.
Yeah, there's lots of new material planned. We're busy writing fervently. Thank you. Hard. Fervent. I can't even. No, but hard. But writing a lot. And we are planning on going in the studio in January, and the new album will be out. I've got to say out in the shops, but we don't have any record shops anymore. Unfortunately, they've all gone. We're probably looking, I would say May, and a guess. We hope to see the artwork tomorrow. In fact, the guy who we've commissioned to do it is bringing the artwork tomorrow for the cover. So everything's well in hand. And I think we've got about 6 songs that we're pretty happy with, and we probably have about 40 that we're busy currently reviewing that we're going to choose from.
Yeah, that's a lot of songs.
To get maybe another 4 or 5, and we're going to do a cover. There's going to be a new cover, and we'll leave that there. I shan't say any more because we have plans afoot for that as well. But it's a song which everybody knows. It's a song which I think everybody loves, and when you hear it, you'll go, "Ah, yes." It's one of those songs. It's been very carefully thought and very carefully chosen.
Tiger Feet.
It's not, but it's a good guess.
No.
And you're back in play.
Love your rock sector again.
I don't know. That's up to our manager.
Right, I see. Right, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's to be decided, shall we say?
Right, yeah. How did it feel when you recorded the Tiger sessions with Mark Gabriel? Obviously, you played those songs live. How did it feel in the studio laying your guitar backs down? bit nostalgia to say the least.
But, oh, absolutely, yes. Bart released it. We recorded it here and produced it here ourselves up in the northeast.
Right.
There's a little background story that actually there's a I don't know whether you've heard of. There's a fantastic rock club in the northeast called Trillions.
Yes, yeah.
It's
reopened, isn't it?
It has, yeah, and it was open for a lot of years, and then it fell. I don't know quite what went wrong. It closed, and then there was a big petition, and they reopened it. Who got involved in that? I think Motorhead got involved in that to get it reopened, and somebody else took it on, and it didn't work. And Dave Hills, the sound guy that's been doing the sound at Trillions for the last 20 odd years, has a studio called Swamp Freaks in Chester Street, in fact not far from where Mick lives. And we recorded the Crazy Night sessions there at his studio. And at that time, last year, he said that he was, he kind of had big plans to take Trillions back on. And that's exactly what's happened. And it reopened last week, I think. So we will be playing there, I guess, at some stage. If nothing else, to support Dave and.
That's right.
And
local bands back in.
Yeah. I mean, we've played there in the past, but it's all been redone out, and this new sound system, new lights, and I believe it's absolutely tremendous.
Right. Right. So you got some UK dates planned for the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, there's lots before that. 3 weeks' time we fly out. We do Bang Your Head in Ballingen in Germany. Then that night when we've played, we jump on a plane and we fly to Stockholm, and we play Väsby in Stockholm with some of my personal friends, Magnum, which I haven't played on the bill for Magnum for.
I saw them last year. They're still a great band.
Oh, yeah, I know Bob and Tony very, very well.
Just so many songs that every song.
Every song's a classic.
Could be an encore.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And they still deliver, 110%. So really looking forward to that. And then I think about 3 weeks after that we fly out to Milan and we do a big festival in Milan. September, I think we've got September off, but it'll never be. It won't be, we won't be dormant. We'll be writing probably every weekend to get this all ready. Because we're pretty good at getting ourselves together. And we record very quickly, which has always been a bonus. So September we'll be soaked up doing that, and then beginning of October we're out in Europe. 5, 6, 7 shows out in Europe, and then we've got November. I guess we'll be really putting the album together, ready for the studio. Because I think in the month of December, everybody will kind of go home and have family time, ready for the January laydown, as they say.
Right.
But we have shows. The first show's in Doncaster, I think.
Right, we're trying to catch you in Boston and the Robb.
Oh, in Boston, okay, yeah. We go Doncaster, Scotland, is it, or Hartlepool, Scotland, up to Ballymont, Scotland, and then down to. The Robin and Boston. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know that that's about how you sort of write together. I'll go back to band chemistry. This lineup now, how long has it been together?
This current lineup's been together 2 years. Have you been with us 2 years?
In fact, it's probably
longer.
It's probably 2 year anniversary. Just gone.
Just gone, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, Craig's been with the band 15 years. Jack's coming up to 11 years now. Gav is probably 4, if not 5 years. The bass player, and Michael's. We hark back and we say the new boy, but I mean, if you're new after 2 years, well, crikey. No, Michael's well and truly got his feet under the carpet.
Right.
As she pans down and sees his feet under the carpet.
It's I know before we're talking about Satan, and it was actually through Russ Tippins, the guitar player of
Yeah.
Satan,
Yeah.
who I'm friends with, and I wasn't aware that Tygers were looking for a new guitar player. And I think Russ got in touch with Gav, the bass player of the Tygers, and Gav got in touch with Russ and said, we're looking for a guitar player, do you know of anyone? And my name came up. I got a message from Gav just saying, play with Tygers, Tang, looking for guitarists, would you be interested in coming down for an audition? Of course I saw it straight away. It was like, man, John Sykes, and you know, and knew of the history of the band and things like that. I was like, man, I've got to go for this. So spoke to Robb, sent him over a couple of videos of his playing, and lots of positive feedback from Robb, and then it was a case of just check out these songs, listen to them, learn them, and then went down, met the management at the time, met the guys, and I know we kind of just got on as friends, you know, pretty much straight away. It wasn't like a forced thing. It was just kind of worked, and
it worked for the first moment that we saw him. To be quite honest, it really did.
Yeah.
Mike just fitted in like he'd been in the band years, which you don't often find. Normally you find there's a bit of nervousness or a bit of bedding in and all that kind of stuff. I mean, what Michael did, you know, the audition and which everybody has to do, you know, and all that kind of stuff. I would absolutely hate that. I really would. I'd rather cut my toes off. I couldn't do it. And for him to go through it all, but not tell him that he'd got the job, you know, because that's what I genuinely felt inside. You know, this guy is the right one for us. What we were to be completely, you know, open and candid about it all. What I didn't want was for a young guitar player to come in the band that looked like my son. And thankfully, Michael looks... well, no, there are bands out there that have their sons in them, and that's what it looks like. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It just, everybody has a personal opinion, and my personal opinion is that, you know, I like a band to look like a band, you know, that they've kind of, you know, lived together in a, you know, in a tent for years. Michael, you know, obviously he is younger than us. He still very much looks. There's a continuity to it. There's a look when you look at the photographs. You don't go, oh crikey, you know, that looks out of place or whatever. You know. So that was a great thing, really. That was just icing on the cake. And his playing is just, well, you'll just have to listen. His playing is absolutely out of this world. Superb. He plays circles around me. Thank God.
Well, I think with like the band like yourself, it's good to have like a, you know, mixed ages as well. So it's a case of the, you know, the old the young and vice versa.
Absolutely, and of course, you know, what Michael's brought to the party is, you know, he's injected youth and you know, new ideas, and you know, why don't we play it like this, and all that kind of, and really from the off as well. You know, we said to him, have an opinion. You know, don't just because you joined, you know, 2 years ago, don't just kind of sit back and think, well, I think this, but I daren't say it. Have an opinion, you know, and he has had an opinion right from the start. And that's the way it is, because as soon as you join, you're given your 20% membership card, because you're 20%, you know, out of 100%, because there's 5 of us, right. And it's you know, we're very much a democratic union. You know, everybody has a say.
Right, so I'll ask you both this question in turn. Who are your major influences?
That's your go first.
Well, I
have
don't say Robb.
No, don't say me.
Oh man, that's like the toughest question ever. It's kind of pretty. Do you know what it is? It's probably a really not the most helpful answer, but probably everyone, because it's kind of there's guys who I've listened to in bands who I've went, I like that, I want to sound like that, and then other stuff where I went, I don't want to sound like that, so that's kind of influenced me. But I don't know, guys who had like a major influence on me. Stevie Ray Vaughan was probably the first guy I heard, and was like, man, this is insane. Jimi Hendrix, lots of the blues rock guys, lots of blues guys to begin with. That was kind of what I listen to as far as guitar players went, and you know, B.B. King and.
It's a good answer, isn't it? I mean, for someone so young.
Good, absolutely, yeah, he's covered everything.
You're not going to say Eddie Van Halen or Jack Wild or that sort of thing.
I like those guys, you know. There's weird one because you know, I'm into all the kind of tap and stuff, but I don't know, I never really kind of sat and studied Eddie, which is a bizarre one. I was more looked at the guys who had took it maybe a little bit further than Eddie. Not that it's better or worse or anything, but
would you say he's probably the first to do the tapping?
I think he's probably the guy who innovated it and made it kind of famous. But I mean,
I'm sure there was some form of tapping.
Something like all the Al Di Meola, the jazz.
Al Di Meola, yeah.
He's a big,
yeah. Maybe he was the one that you know, with Eruption, you know, that particular, which everybody wanted to learn at the time.
I think, to be honest, Al was more of a picker rather than a kind of tap guy. But I'm trying to think. There was other guys who did little bits of tapping, and but it wasn't to the scale that Eddie did it. But more guys like Ron Thal, who plays with Guns N' Roses, Bumblefoot, where they do some crazy tapping stuff, and it's kind of multi-thing. That kind of interested me because I found the Eddie thing was a little bit. It was kind of Eddie came out there and everyone went, "Whoa, I need to do this," and did it death. You know, not that it's a bad thing. It's just that's Eddie's thing. As soon as you go down that route, it's like, well, you're an Eddie Van Halen cover.
When he first started playing, he used to have it back to the audience, so
people didn't know.
So we do that.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. I was. Did you see him opening for Black Sabbath? Would that be about 78?
It was 78 now. I didn't see him until 84.
All right, no, I was.
Some friends of mine saw him and said they just.
I was there, absolutely. Well, it was one of the. I went to see it in Newcastle City Hall, where I live, and it was one of those things that they obviously must have had an incredible deal with Black Sabbath at the time because, the City Hall was full at 7:30, which it never was because everybody was in the bar. No matter what the support band was, everybody was in the bar having that pre-match pint. But it was full, and she kind of walked and went, "Oh, it's full, I better take my seat then, I won't go for a drink." So he kind of sat down and, you know, the lights went down, he thought, "Oh right, it's starting as well, shit." And then he came on and you know, and he thought, "That's where everybody sat here, right?" Okay. And you just thought, flipping it, this is so good. And when I remember, because backline was all the thing in those days. The bigger backline you had, the better band you were, even if you weren't. But if you had a huge backline, you had to be good because you've got all that backline. And he had six 412 cabinets, and his amps were kind of at the side in this kind of spaceship sort of thing. Is all these three Marshall amps he had in this spaceship sort of thing, crazy. And when they finished, they got a standing ovation when they finished, and they took the backline away. Black Sabbath's backline was no bigger, and that to me, so that's the whole point of the story. That to me was well that you would expect it to be bigger and better and bolder and you know more majestical and whatever words and terms you want to use, but it wasn't. And you thought it was kind of like a let's see what they've got, and you thought right, it's not the same really. Okay, and then Black Sabbath were great. You know, they came on. Ozzy did his thing. Fainted at the end with physical exhaustion, and you know was carried off. And
other reasons.
Other reasons. And I actually went after the show. I actually went backstage, and there were the ambulance people were there. Not that he particularly needed them. I think he just did one jump too many, and you know he gave it his all. That's what he did. Not that he just overdid it for whatever reason, and you know that they were giving him a bit of oxygen or whatever like that. And he was giving an interview to a friend of mine who had a radio station at the time, and it was quite, you know, I mean, Van Halen were sort of walking around, but they were just like, I don't know, they were in that situation they were kind of overshadowed because Black Sabbath were the big beast, you know, and they were very much the support band, but performing wise they were huge. Probably one of the biggest, best support bands that I've ever seen, and obviously of course they went on to, you know, slightly bigger things.
Just a little, yeah. Right, with you again. Have you got a favourite album of all time? Another on the spot question.
I've got albums I think are, well, there's a kind of debut album I think is the greatest debut album ever, which is, for me personally, I think it's Appetite for Destruction. I don't know if it's my favourite. So many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favourite gig?
I saw Rage Against the Machine in 2010 at Donington Wildfire Festival.
Yeah.
And just the whole atmosphere was just incredible. And I'd seen AC/DC and Aerosmith on the same weekend,
Yeah,
and I think Rage just came on. There was no gimmicks, nothing. Just came out, kind of battered old amps, battered guitars, and just came out and just incredible.
It's all you need sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And it just,
Yeah.
like I said, the atmosphere was just unbelievable.
My sort of guitar player influences, I've always liked Mick Boxer's style of guitar playing, and you know, from the early Uriah Heep stuff. He's not technical, he's not, you know, particularly wizardry or in his technique or whatever. What he plays is just right. It's just, I just like it. It's just, it fits, it's good. And he was always a great wah-wah player as well.
You know, with a Mick Boxer, you hear them songs.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And you know, he had this kind of like, you know, flash sort of with his hand movements and stuff. And I always thought that's really, really good. Showman-wise, you know, there's been a bits about him in the press, but show-wise, really, you know, Big Ted Nugent, you can't really go past.
Well, I got Ted on that autographed in 1984.
Yeah, I mean, again, I saw him when he first came in. You know, it's the first time he played in the UK, and he was just. You couldn't take your eyes off. The rest of the band may as well not have been there. It was the Ted Nugent show. And I've always liked Glenn Tipton's playing Judas Priest.
Right.
I've always thought he was a good hard rock player. Favourite gigs, two. Let's give you two. Heavy Metal Kids opening up for Nazareth.
Right.
Absolutely tremendous. First time they were kind of on the scene. Gary Holden, you know, God rest his soul, came on in what did he have? I'm sure it was black wellies and tights, black tights, and like a you know, like a top hat and tails coat.
Right.
And when he turned around on the back, it said "The Kid" in like studs, and I thought, how cool. And they did this. I can't remember what the song's called. It was off the first album, and he came on. And he had two. This is probably why he had two topless girls came on the stage, and they kind of sort of perched on his knee while he sang this song. And I just thought, wow, this. And the other one was AC/DC at Newcastle Mayfair, and I was stood at the monitor desk at the side of the store, looking across all the Marshall stacks. With Bon Scott, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And Bon the whole night, without a word of a lie, and this is probably. God rest his soul, why the guy probably died. The whole night, what he did was he walked around around the side of the stack, so he kind of passed me, you know, like 2 foot away, just the width of the monitor desk between him and me. Went, delivered his lines. Angus would be playing a guitar solo. He came back round. He had a roadie there. Obviously, he was looking after him. Passed him a bottle of whiskey. He had 3 glugs of whiskey, he did 10 press-ups, and then he had another slug, and then he went back round and then did the rest of the night, and he did that for the whole hour and a half. And I thought to myself, how are you still standing?
Yeah.
But that's without a word of a lie, that's what he did for the hour. And I thought to myself, if you do that every night, bloody hell, you know, you must have had no liver left. But what a performance! What a guy!
You mentioned Heavy Metal Kids. There's a band on Sunday night called Uncle Rust.
Right.
The guitarist, the current guitarist for Heavy Metal Kids.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I can't think of his name now. It's just the name escapes me.
Right.
Uncle Rust and the guitarist. He played the.
I've actually heard of him. I've seen the name around Uncle Rust.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, been playing a long time, been touring a long time. Any Spinal Tap moments? that springs to mind?
Oh, the Spinal Tap moments happen at every show, for God's sake. Dear me.
Rome springs to mind, but we can't talk about that.
Can we not?
Not for the guys who support us, we can't really talk about.
Just don't mention the name. that's
Yeah.
Oh
no.
yeah, that's a good point. Actually, just
Go
to
on
mention
then. Mick can be my memory. There's so many I can't remember.
So yeah, we did a tour of Italy in December of 2013, I think it might have been, maybe 2014. And we were playing in Rome. We were late. Traffic was insane. It was rush hour, and we got into a one-way system. And it was the guys who were in the support band who were kind of driving us around and kind of looking after us. And
So we're in a tour or something.
yeah, and we
And we're looking for a shortcut
yeah.
to get to the show.
So we found this is a shortcut, one-way system, and a bridge, and we're going. This bridge looks quite low. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And we went under, and it was fine. And we kept going under. We're thinking, this looks like it's getting lower and lower. Like, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then, sure enough, we got stuck. And it, like I say, it was a one-way system. So in rush hour, we had to get all of this traffic to reverse up. Well, you can imagine how happy all the Italian people who were behind us were. So, yeah, that's one that springs to mind.
The bus was well and truly wedged, and of course there was the we wondered what the damage was to our bus and the damage to the bridge, and oh dear me, yes, that was very interesting, but it was fine.
The guy who was driving the bus was in a bit of a state of blessing, and then he had to go and do a gig after that, and he was in a bit of a mess. But yeah,
That's fine. We got our poster paints and our cranes out, and we're covered at the top of the bus.
Yeah.
Right, like another sort of an old question, if you don't mind me saying. What's your views on the internet towards the music industry?
Oh, well, I think everybody knows these views. It's absolutely wiped it out, doesn't it? Absolutely wiped it out. There's no such thing as, well, record shops have gone, albums have gone. Where do you buy something? Where do you go online? The internet, you have to use the internet to your advantage as far as you can, because it's taken so much away from the music industry. So to kind of get your own back, you've got to kind of... What the internet does is, you can promote something instantly worldwide.
That's right, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Which back in the days of LPs, for instance, if your LP was released, for the people in Australia to get it, you had to post it to them.
Yeah.
And it took 2 weeks to get there. Now they can get it in a nanosecond, can't they? But of course, all they get is a sound bite, a sound file. They don't, or they get images, which they can then print off or whatever. Gone are the days. You say, I used to love an album where, especially if it was a gatefold sleeve. Or I had a double live Rush album, which I had a triple gatefold sleeve, all worlds of stage.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. And you could put the needle in the groove, put your headphones on, sit there, listen, and by the time you'd looked at some of the pictures, you were getting at the end, and you think, I haven't even heard that, because I've been looking at the pictures and studying the inner sleeves and all that. It was just fantastic. And I was kind of, didn't really want to move to CD. I really did hold off for a while. And then I went, oh, right, okay, let's get a CD and a CD player and see what all this is about. And the same albums, comparing them, the CD was it almost had a sterile appeal to it. It was there was no...
Crackle of
yeah, there was no atmosphere, no kind of background to it, or even depth. It was just, it was kind of ordinary and flat, and I don't know. But that's the way the world was advancing. So that's what that's what
the
I
same
moved
thing
to.
answer of Steve Zodiac, and he said, you have to try and embrace it best you can. And he said it's a good promotional tool for.
It is a good promotional tool, yeah, it is. But at the same time, it's wiped out music sales.
Yeah.
A gold album, would be what, 500,000 copies, something like that. a gold album these days is something like 20,000 CDs. You know, it's next to nothing. It really is. And you know, going back to Ambush, which was released in 2012, it was released on the 25th of September, as far as my memory holds out. And on the 24th of September, Craig, our drummer, rang me up and he said, "You won't believe this, but," he says, "you know, Ambush is being released tomorrow through Rock Sector Records." I said, "Yes." He says, "I found it on 7 free download torrent sites."
Really?
The day before it was even released.
Yeah.
So what chance have you got?
Yeah.
You know, so all these people have got it for nothing, and it's not even out.
Yeah.
Never mind in the one record shop that probably exists in the world. You know, opening the doors the next day, going, "Dead, oh, you've already got it for nothing."
Yeah. I must admit, like I've downloaded albums and then bought them. I'm just, you know, just to listen to it first and then I'll buy it. You know?
Can I just tell you, viewers and your listeners, hand on heart, I've never downloaded anything. I've never downloaded anything. I've listened to stuff that people have downloaded. You know, if it's been, "Oh, this is a disc in the car," and it's not an original disc. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, I personally probably because I didn't want to, but I've never done that. And it's, you know, even the video industry, you know, films and stuff like that, where people download films, it's crucified that as well.
Yeah.
It really has.
I think you've got to start offering fans something else as well as just the album and the music. I know there's a guy called Stephen Wilson who plays with, or he did play with Porcupine Tree.
That's right.
And obviously he's doing a solo thing now. He just released a new album and he was offering, I think it was all behind the scenes with him in the studio and all this artwork that came with it. And I think you've got to do more than just, there's the music and that's it. I think bands are becoming a little bit more savvy to this now and starting to pick up on, we can't just give people an album anymore. It's got to be the album and say a DVD, or the artwork's got to be particularly special, you know. I think that's kind of the way things are now. Obviously vinyl's coming back into fashion now as well.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of
a fad, maybe.
well, not a fad. I mean, it's still old debate now, but I think that records are charging too much for vinyl now. I mean, we went shopping in Chester a few months ago, and like you get like old albums, and it was £20-25 for like an average album. I see a press release of the new Motörhead album, pre-release, £42 on vinyl next month. And I mean, I've been, I said, Planetmosh, I've been reviewing the latest, you know, Rush re-releases, 180 gram vinyl, $20.99. There's no sort of remaster or anything.
Yeah.
It's just $20.99. Just put it in on.
Because in fashion.
I didn't put that in my review. I mean, I didn't want to slag it off.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a record company's decision to do that, not the band's. But, so we're talking about profits and about downloading albums. What's your views on bands trying for meet and greets these days?
Oh, can't believe it.
Right.
Can't believe it. Absolutely ludicrous. Ludicrous. I actually saw a message on you know, one of the people that are associated with us, and they said that they always say this exact thing. It was for Kiss, I think, and it was, I don't know what it was, £800 or something, or so it was in euros. And I actually put a message on. I messaged back saying, "If you want to meet us, we'll give you a £5." You know, it's just as a this is ridiculous. It really is.
The reason I asked was there's like I'm not going to mention the American glam rock metal band in their final tour. Just play download, and they're charging between £800 and £1,600 for their arena tour in November in the UK. So, but like I said, if people want to pay that, they want to pay that.
People will pay
well,
it.
so obviously you remember, like in our day, if you want to go and meet a band, you stand at the stage door. And that was it. If you didn't see them, you didn't see them. But I mean, you weren't going to pay a grand to, you know, say hello, get one photograph and one thing signed.
I think was there quite an extortionate one of a new wave of British heavy metal band that have just toured with Whitesnake, or touring with Whitesnake. Was there meet and greet not quite money as well?
Anyway, just need to see
No, did I read?
In the UK or?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Oh, I don't know where it was.
Right,
I think I saw something on social media about that as well. And I thought, I think you just say, stay back after the show, which is kind of what bands do. Because if it's not for your fans, you ain't got a show. You're playing to the caretaker and his dog.
Yeah.
You've got to look after your fans, because if you don't, they won't come and see you. They don't come and see you. They won't listen to your music and buy your albums. And very quickly, by Chinese whispers and word of mouth, you're not in band anymore. People won't see them. They got in the car and they drove off straight away and they said they haven't got time for us anymore. That's the last thing that you want. It's the whole reason why bands exist is because of fans and the public. Buying the product and being treated right by them. It's kind of like customer service, for God's sake.
Yeah, it is.
You've got to look after these people, and if they want an autograph, they want to speak to you, whatever like that, then that's your job.
If you're paying 20, 30, 40 pounds, well, you've got to pay the same again just to sort of have one photograph taken.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. Yeah, I mean, there used to be again, go back to the day. You couldn't take a camera into a show. You were frisked or whatever, and you had to give them up. And now, again, with social media, there's all sorts of, and you can't do anything about it. There's all sorts of clips of every band, of every denomination, from the arena selling bands to the ones that play the dog and trumpet. And sometimes the footage is not the best, but you just have to go with it. Yeah. It's not all professionally shot, 7 camera shoot stuff. It's recorded on a
mobile phone.
On a Nokia 327141, whatever the number is, and it's a bit shaky and a bit out of focus, and you think that's not really the best clip that we could have put up there, but somebody's taken that. And they're really proud of it because they've been to see, that their heroes, their fans of the band or whatever, and that's it. So you go with it and embrace it.
You can play like a new song. It's filmed and it's on the internet the next day.
Absolutely.
It's not a new song anymore, is it?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So you just have to go with it and love it.
Yeah. Right, I think I'm done now. Pleasure talking to you both.
You too, thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, right.
Thank you very much indeed.
See you on stage later on.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to try and tune this properly.